Listen to The Point anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Find your favorite stations like The Point and discover more. Music stations, local and trusted news sources, sports talk and team coverage, plus today's biggest podcasts. Find it all on the Odyssey app. AUDACY.
Facts.
Ever since George Washington, it's been tradition for presidents of the United States to have an official portrait painted of them during their time in office. But Theodore Roosevelt's hatred of his official White House portrait, painted by Theobald Chartrand, led to it being destroyed. After painting Roosevelt's wife and daughter, Chartrand was commissioned to paint a portrait of the 26th president in 1903. He attempted to depict the private man rather than the public politician. But Roosevelt, who prided himself on being a tough man, thought the painting made him look like, quote, a mewing cat. After years of concealing the painting in a dark White House corridor and teasing from his children, Roosevelt chose to burn the artwork. The president then commissioned John Singer Sargent. Sargent's portrait of Roosevelt is the one we now know today, with Teddy standing in a confident, manly pose. The president loved it. I'm Matt Murphy, Fox News. Fox Facts. We all know the famous tagline, M&M's melt in your mouth, not in your hands. But do you know how these delectable treats got their name? In the early 1940s, during World War II, Forrest Mars of the Mars Company and Bruce Murray, son of the Hershey's Chocolate's president, teamed up to create a practical and heat-resistant chocolate for soldiers in the field. Mars was inspired by seeing soldiers eating candy-coated chocolate morsels during the Spanish Civil War. This collaboration gave birth to M&M's, and the name M&M cleverly represented the surnames of both creators. Packaged in a cardboard tube at the time, they were manufactured solely for the U.S. military and included in rations. The candy's hard shell made it ideal for combat conditions, preventing melting and sticking. After the war, M&M's became a beloved confection worldwide while maintaining the original name of their creators, Mars and Murray. Matt Murphy, Fox News.
It is now time for Veterans with Benefits. Your host, Anthony Tyron and Corinna Ballista, here on the anniversary show.
All right, it's been a whole year. Wow, 1 year, huh, Jose? Woohoo.
Feels like a lifetime.
Yes. So welcome back, Veterans with Benefits. It is January 20th. I think we started it 22nd last year, January 22nd, and it's Martin Luther King Day. Can't forget that. It's a holiday. So those that are out there listening to us, if you've never heard of us before, Veterans with Benefits, I'm one of your hosts, Corinna Ballista, and then
the sweaty guy, I'm Anthony Tyron.
It is hot outside.
Some of us had to be a maid over at the event, so thank you. But, you know, I have more jobs than one.
So we celebrated it by having a little get-together next door at 11Z's. Oh, my gosh, the food was amazing. Thank you, Miss Grace. Thank you for the food and your staff.
Yeah, thank you, Eli. His favorite drink is the caramel macchiato.
All right. So, of course, always thank our sponsors, Ambrose Inc., Zuwila.org. Thanks, Pete. Habzaba FMC, Fire Medical Clinic. American Legion. We actually have Chris in studio with us,
Who's
the
Chris?
president. Chris Turan, president of
Oh,
American
the
Legion, Guam
commander.
Post 1. Sorry, the commander. Why did I say president? Master Blasters, 11Z's, Domino's Pizza,
Yes.
and the most services. And then you're listening to us on the Point 93.3. You can call into 671-888-TALK. So I'll start with Veteran of the Week. Veteran of the Week is Miss Marjorie Mesa Hunter. She served during the Vietnam War. She was assigned to 72 Echo, 20 Communications Company in Germany. She was part of the Women's Army Corps. After serving 3 years in the military, she went from communications to working in correctional facilities in Washington. Today, Ms. Hunter is with the GVAO office here in Guam since 2013, and she assists veterans. Let us congratulate for her service. Thank her for her service. And we have her picture there.
Yay.
And actually on the photo is a picture of the typewriter that she used when she was in Germany. I think they can see it online there. And then that's the picture of her with the Red Cross team. And that's
very nice.
Thank you, Red Cross, for submitting Ms. Hunter for Veteran of the Week.
And don't forget, you get a free pizza. If you do not want your pizza and you don't want to say hi to Dane, Dane is one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met. Nicest gentleman I've ever met. And he's in charge over there. He is a veteran, and he's at Domino's. And as Veteran of the Week, you get a free pizza there.
All right. And then, Anthony, you'll read the veteran question of the week, and then veteran tip of the week. So we have veterans. We're with veterans literally, most days of the week. So they always have questions for us. So we always say, we'll address it, on the radio for everyone to hear, not only, one-on-one for the veteran, but to share info, because so many things are changing for veterans and there's so much information veterans do not know. So we've decided to add to our show veteran tip of the week and veteran question of the week. So Anthony will share those.
And this is my time to go to school. So, yes, veterans may be eligible for VA disability compensation for conditions that develop after separation from service, as long as the condition can be linked to military service. This is a key part of the VA's benefit system. Even if a condition didn't appear during active duty or wasn't diagnosed until years later, it can still qualify for compensation if there's evidence showing it was caused or aggravated by service. Here's a detailed explanation. Eligibility for VA disability compensation. To receive VA disability compensation for a condition that developed after service, you must establish a service connection. This means proving that your military service directly caused or aggravated the condition. Key scenarios for service connection. 1, direct service connection. These are all number 1. Aggravation of pre-existing conditions. Presumptive service connection. Secondary service connection. A condition that developed after service as a result of a service-connected disability. Example, a veteran with a service-connected knee injury who later develops arthritis in the opposite knee due to compensating for the injury. Chronic conditions linked to service. Chronic conditions listed under 38 CFR subsection 3.309A may qualify if they become apparent to a compensable degree within 1 year of discharge. Example, hypertension or diabetes that manifests within 1 year after separation. Examples of conditions that can develop after service. Toxic exposures. Conditions caused by exposure to Agent Orange, burn pits, asbestos, radiation, or contaminated water at Camp Lejeune may not appear until years later. Example, respiratory issues, cancers or autoimmune diseases, mental health conditions, PTSD, depression, or anxiety may not manifest fully until years after service due to delayed onset of symptoms. Example, A veteran develops PTSD years after leaving service due to combat experiences. 3. Orthopedic issues. Injuries or repetitive strain during service can lead to chronic conditions like arthritis or back pain long after separation. Example, a veteran develops degenerative disc disease 10 years after experiencing a back injury during training. Number 4, Gulf War illness. Veterans of the Gulf War and post 9/11 conflicts may develop unexplained illnesses. Example, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia due to environmental exposures. 5, latent diseases. Diseases such as certain cancers or respiratory conditions may have long latency periods and develop decades after exposure during service. How to prove connection. Even if a condition appears years after service, you can strengthen your case by gathering evidence that ties it to your military service. Number 1, medical nexus. A medical opinion from a healthcare provider stating that their condition is at least as likely as not caused or aggravated by your military service. A nexus letter is critical for providing service connection. Service records. Number 2, provide documentation of events, injuries, or exposure during service that could be linked to your condition. Number 3, post-service medical records. Show continuity of symptoms or treatment from service to the present, even if symptoms didn't appear immediately after discharge. Number 4, VA presumptive conditions. If your condition is on the VA's list of presumptive conditions, you do not need to prove the nexus as long as you meet the criteria. Okay.
You okay?
With all that said,
I know. And
It's a lot of information,
And
but
we're
it's
still
also
not done.
very important information.
yes. So tip of the week. Did you want me to do that or did you want to do it?
Tip of the week.
Yeah. I'm not there. I'm just at tip of the week.
Oh, you mean you're just at question of the week?
I just got done with question of the week.
Oh, okay.
wow.
Well, it's a lot of information.
Yes.
Okay,
So,
I could do the tip of the week.
without
So
breathing hard.
the tip of the tip of the week.
Okay, go
Mental
ahead.
health is an essential part of your overall well-being, and the Department of Veteran Affairs provides numerous resources to help veterans cope with mental health challenges, whether you're dealing with PTSD, depression, anxiety, or other conditions. The VA offers tailored support and treatment options. Seeking help is a sign of strength, and these resources can make a life-changing difference. It's important because military service can expose veterans to unique stressors, including combat experiences, deployment-related separations, and the challenges of transitioning back to civilian life. Left untreated, mental health issues can impact relationships, employment, and physical health. Early intervention and support can help veterans lead fulfilling, balanced life. The VA offers mental health care services. Of course, veterans they don't have to be service connected to get mental health assistance. So they can apply for health care. They can call the VA. They can also go to the vet centers. And then they can also reach out to the crisis line, which is 1-800-273-TALK. So that, and then you just press 1 and the number works. A lot of veterans have tried it. Or you can chat online. It's the Veteran Crisis Line, online.net. And then, like I said, you can reach out to the vet centers, which offer free confidential counseling to veterans, active duty service members, and their families. They also do group sessions at these vet centers, and it's free. All you need is your DD-214. No need to register for anything. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and the VA provides a wide range of resources to help veterans and their families. If you or a loved one is struggling, reach out to the VA or one of the services that I mentioned above. Help is available, and you don't have to face challenges alone.
Wow, that was really fast. I saw a longer list. Did you shortcut it?
I did.
She wanted me to read everything.
She
and
wasn't breathing hard either.
I know. Jose, we're going to have to take care
You
of
got to
this.
think on your feet there, Anthony.
Yes, that's what the info
It
is
looks
for.
like there are more people
what the
against me
info
on
is
this
for.
show, but
No.
just for that piece. I'm okay. But and by the way, this information is information that they will get if they come to our boot camps.
Yes.
If they come to our chatting with the coach, or if they get with a really good doctor that might be working at HSP.
Yes.
If he happens to show up here, we will introduce him.
Yes.
Sure.
So let's talk about all the events that happened this past week. So what we have is did you want to say hello?
Oh yes, I wanted to say hello to Knox and Aaliyah.
Yes. And then we already said it's been 1 year. And then you did mention boot camp. So although Anthony and I are hosts of this radio show, we're also president and vice president of the nonprofit veteran organization, HMI. So we hold monthly benefit boot camps. It's a 3-day free event where you learn about filing your claim, accessing your benefits, and healthcare, like Anthony mentioned. The way to get healthcare and the VA to pay for it is either you are covered under one of the PACTEC expansions or you apply for healthcare through the VA. You said you would have a call?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Do we want to answer it?
Yes.
It's a guy named Charlie Hermosa.
Oh,
you guys
is
know
it?
him?
Yay,
Should we take
Charlie.
it?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Hello.
Hey,
Is this?
good evening, guys.
Hello,
Oh, it's
Charlie.
Charlie. This Charlie.
Is he off island?
I don't know.
No,
We didn't hear him.
no. I'm on island. But just want to wish you guys congratulations on 1 year. It really makes a huge impact to have another voice for the veterans to actually hear. Online radio. Being able to get the information out. So, the more information that we can share, and you guys have made a huge impact with the show and all the guests that you've been able to bring on. And, we just want to send out and say thank you so much for everything that you do, and congratulations to all three. I know you guys work late there, so congratulations.
Oh yes, we can't forget Jose. We were just wondering if you were on island because we had a thing earlier, but you didn't make it.
No, I know, and I apologize for that. Just one of those Mondays where I thought that, being a holiday was kind of tricky.
Oh yes.
So it wasn't, people were not off completely.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because someone messaged us and said, "Oh, by the way, I'm working." What? It's a holiday.
Yeah. Some people do work on a holiday.
Yeah.
Well,
I've heard
thank
that.
you, Charlie. Thank you.
Yeah, just want to send a huge congrats and keep it going.
All right, thank you, and we'll expect you to be on the show sometime in the future. Yes.
Well, yeah, I still need to reclaim my pizza, right? My Domino's. I'm still waiting for that one.
Oh, really?
Pizza.
Okay.
His pizza.
We might reintroduce you as Veteran of the Week.
To get him his
Come
pizza.
on, yes.
We'll talk to Dane.
Thank you,
Dane's
guys.
great. Okay. Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And let's say hello to those online. Donna Milla Martinez. Oh, we know her. She
Whoa.
says, happy anniversary.
Oh,
All
thank you.
right. And then Edward, I don't know how to say his name. Buendicho. Am I saying that
Buendicho,
right?
yes.
He says, half a day.
Half a day.
All right. Well, thank you to those watching us online. I'm trying to update Facebook. I'm not sure what's going on with it. It just likes to go in and out. Thank you, Charlie, for the phone call. And then you guys can call us. If you're listening on the radio, you can call us at 671-888-TALK. So, like we said, we're celebrating our 1 year on air.
That's right, and we have.
And then, we had boot camp, so I didn't get to finish the
Okay,
dates.
good.
So, HMI is a veteran nonprofit organization that offers monthly free benefit boot camps. So, what we do is a 3-day event. The first day, we go over to 38 CFR, the M21-1. Second day, we go over required forms. And the third day, we go over CMP exams. So CMP means compensation and pension exams. So these are the exams that veterans always confuse with their own VA exams or medical appointments. So these are exams where the VA has a contracted health provider who adjudicates your claim. So you submit 20 things, and then the VA says, oh, well, let me separate those into 4. They separate them into general med, audiology, optometry, and mental health. So a lot of veterans confuse those with their regular medical appointments. So we go over that on the third day. And then our next one is in Inalahan, February 11, 12, 13, from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. If you need to register, you can go to www.hmiguam.com, and it's absolutely free. Or you can reach out to 672 7631.
671
682-7631.
Very good.
Yes. Messing up with that one.
Yes.
And then we attended the Armed Forces Committee meeting. That was with J9, Tamara Estevez.
That's correct.
That was a really good meeting. So HMI, or Anthony and I, are part of the Guam Chamber of Commerce. And then part of the Guam Chamber of Commerce, you can also join one of their committees. Which is, oh yeah, there's the picture. Thanks, Jose. You can join one of their committees. And one of the committees that we joined was the Armed Forces Committee, which is led by Mr. Phil Santos. He's been there for a while. Oh, that's a picture of Carl Peterson and I talking to Miss Estevez. So this is what they posted on their Instagram. And we actually had Carl Peterson here last week.
Yes.
That was a really, really great show. So that's a picture of the Armed Forces Committee members and Miss Estevez, and then her assistant.
Yes.
Um,
Major.
I have her name in my email.
Steve Lee
Yes,
or-
but Steve Lee. She's gonna. Nope. We're not gonna attempt it.
she's mad at us now.
We're not gonna attempt it. She might say something, but
The good major.
Yes. So I spoke to her before, she presented, and I told her who we are, what we're all about, and she's like, "Wow, I need to get you guys into TAPS." Karina sold me, and then what they also are pushing is the quality of life event. Quality,
Yes.
right? Quality of life.
Yep.
It's the expo, and that's going to be at UOG on February 22nd, and we've participated in the last two. The first one was at Weston, second one was at UOG, and it's great traffic, great traffic for military members to get introduced to the island and the resources that are here. So if you're not a vendor, I think she said you can still join.
Yeah. So that might be a good place for like the Legion to come, and as well as maybe HSP and the good doctor.
Yes, and then we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to introduce our guests.
Hi, this is Jerry Roberts. What's happening in the workplace? What about your job and career? What ideas will find their way into your world? That's what you get with the Extra Point every day on The Ray Gibson Show here on 93.3 FM. Sometimes it's about what's in the news, or working relationships, or how to get further and do better. I try to make it interesting, inspiring, and hopefully sneak a little fun in too. Be a part of it. 7:25 weekday mornings. The Extra Point. Brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank.
It's hard to believe, but Security Title is celebrating 25 years. This milestone reflects the dedication of our employees, who are as passionate about our work as we are about our community. We are deeply grateful to the realtors, lenders, attorneys, investors, and to all the buyers and sellers we serve. Your support has kept our doors open for the past 25 years and is the reason for our success. Security Title looks back with gratitude and forward with optimism to the journey ahead. Thank you, Guam.
Boss, I got run over by a forklift.
Boss, I crashed a company truck.
What do we do? Our warehouse and inventory are gone.
Hi, this is Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and it's time for Risk 101. Everything you just heard are examples of risk your businesses can face. Our job is to ask the hard what-if questions and teach you how to reduce your exposures and help you recover if things go sideways. We've got decades of experience in Micronesia working with businesses big and small. Call AB Risk Solutions today at 777-2668 for a free inspection and quote.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Need publicity for your big events? We've got a great feature on the Points website to help you get your happening noticed for free. Just go to thepoint.gu and look for the community button. Click on submit your event and then fill in the blanks. You can even upload your flyer. Once we approve it, it'll show up on all Choice Broadcasting websites. Did I say it was free? From 5Ks to car washes, lunch plates, fundraisers, whatever. Let us help you get the word out. Free! Get started on thepoint.gu.
And we're back. Thank you, Jose. You're listening to us on The Point and 3.3. You can call in to 671-888-TALK. I'm going to just read some of the comments we have online. Charlie Hermosa, congrats, guys. Sorry I could not join you earlier. Brennan Fausto, giving us a Guam flag, U.S. flag, and a salute.
All right.
Mr. Johnny Atulai Taitano, congratulations on your 1 year of service to the veterans. This doesn't include the years of personal service that you have provided. Aw, thank you.
Yeah.
Brennan Fausto, let's go, Jigo, USMC Jarhead watching.
Yeah.
Kenneth Paulino, good evening. And then Mr. Robert Kelly, I'm present and accounted for.
Oh my gosh, Bob Kelly.
Oh, Bob. We saw you earlier, but thank you.
Yes.
Like I mentioned, it's the 1 year. We had a get together back here at 11Z's. Thank you, Miss Grace and her team for the good spread.
Yes.
We had a lot of people come visit us, hang out with us, just talk about, talk about veterans and issues. And some of the veterans that we ran into, they said, "Man, could we just do this more? I just came here to hang out with you." And one of the veterans, and I'm going to quote him. He said, "It took me 4 hours to get out of bed." And he said, I was just going to do laundry, and I saw your message, and I was just about passing by, and I just decided to stop here and hang out with you guys. And I said, "Oh, thank you." So, a lot of veterans deal with things like that. We're going to introduce our guest who's going to talk about what he does and how he goes to the veterans, because not a lot of veterans leave their house. None of them want to. Not a lot of them want to, nor are they capable of leaving their house.
Without further ado.
No, so I'm going to introduce them. So we have one, Dr. Cregan here with us in studio, and then we had the post commander, Chris Turan, for our very first show. So we said, "Hey, Chris, you're going to join us for our 1 year show." So Chris is here with us, the post commander of the American Legion Post 1.
Half a
You guys want
day.
to say hi?
Half a day, everybody.
So who's going first?
Who's on first?
All right, Doc, you got the go ahead.
He outranks me.
Since I don't know if these headphones are working, I'm just going to talk. Yes, we do get a chance to go out every Tuesday and Thursday to the veterans' homes, and lately was for groups like Veterans with Benefits, we would be kind of out there without any ammunition against some of the mythologies we have to deal with. Locally, one of the bigger things we hear is, I was in the National Guard here in Guam, or I was in the reserves here in Guam, and I was never called up, so I don't get benefits.
Oh, I think you meant HMI.
Well, that's the name of the show, but he's
HMI. I was reading Veterans with Benefits. I didn't want to say Anthony.
So the radio
that'd be
show
weird.
is Veterans with Benefits, and then our nonprofit is HMI.
HMI.
I know. It's a lot.
And just simple handing out the cards to them and saying, you've been misinformed about what your benefits are. And they, something you mentioned earlier touched on the depression in this society here is they feel shut in. Their family even puts them in a location in their house, like the back bedroom, and they pretty much bring their meals to them, and they pretty much stay ignored the rest of the time. And it's our job to go to the house. We bring teams of nurses, wound care, family care, primary care to them and see them in their homes. And the family member that gets hurt sometimes, it's not actually the patient, but it's the family members taking care of them. They're afraid to go to the doctors. And these are sometimes active duty retired veterans' wives who are eligible for care also, but they forget that, hey, I was there that 20 years with that veteran serving, and they deserve care too. So not only do we see the veteran in their home, we also see the family member, the wife too. So we can see two family members in the house at the same exact time. So it's almost like two house calls in the same house. So, and I've had upwards of 4 at the same house call, same visit, same day, because there's two families living in the same house. And what they miss out on is they think they're not eligible for benefits because the family members told them, you're just not eligible. And without organizations like this, and my esteemed colleague from the American Legion, without them being out there helping these people, they'd be still wandering around in a world of myth. And I guaranteed I've sent the American Legion probably 50 people in the last 2 years who thought they didn't have benefits available to them. And now they have benefits, and now they're getting care in their homes.
Right.
And that's the exciting part about HMI and Veterans with Benefits.
Wow. And you yourself, Doc, right? You're also what do you call it? You were Guard and Reserve at one point.
I was in the Army Reserve first.
Army Reserve,
before
yes.
I went into the Coast Guard active duty. Yes.
Yeah, and so you're well aware of how that works, right? And
Yes.
weekend warrior, and sometimes they're like, they're not really somebody, right? You're not really a veteran, right? Because you're just on the weekend. But that's the furthest thing from the truth, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's something we want to talk about, right? Because someone like yourself, who's taking advantage of the benefits, right? You fell under active duty, reserve, Coast Guard. You did it all just about, right?
Sure.
So that's something that our veterans need to hear so that they're aware of that. And I think earlier you mentioned you are part of the Legion.
Yes.
Yes, so you're a member of the Legion. So and
Florida.
Florida.
Moving to Guam.
Well,
Yeah,
you're here now.
That's right.
Yeah, he's been scolding me about being from Florida.
And you mentioned something to us earlier that it was the Legion that helped you with your claim as well.
Absolutely. I dealt with many other wannabe helpers that are out there, and it was a veteran from the American Legion that I had signed up for back in, I think 93 actually, and
Right.
it was him that said, no, you don't have to tolerate this. I should not have been discharged with the conditions I had. I should have been full retired from the military.
Wow. And now that you're a doctor, were you a doctor when you were in also?
No, I was a medic and a rescue swimmer for the Coast Guard. Back then, we jumped out of perfectly good helicopters for no reason. Actually, well, for doing rescues.
Yes. And thank you for what you do, right? Because one of the ways we bumped into him, how did we bump into him again?
We were doing outreach at the mall.
And he was a straight veteran walking around in the mall.
Yes.
we scooped him up.
Yeah, he was wearing civilian clothes. He wasn't wearing his scrubs.
Yes.
And then he told us he was a doctor, and I looked him right up, and then he said, "I have this book," and I looked that book up, and I'm like, "Oh, yep, he's real, he's legit."
Yeah, and that was such a we weren't expecting to meet, but had we not have been out doing the things that we were doing, we never would have run into you, right? And,
Correct.
And then just like with you, right? Have you not going out to these homes, you might be missing some veterans, right? So you capture them as well and send them to go get their benefits, join the Legion, do good things to bring them back into the fold of what we need to be doing here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
you.
We see hundreds a month in their homes, literally. And this is because people, I can understand why they don't want to go to the hospitals here, but the chance of forgetting about getting care and just staying home because they just are afraid of the doctor, afraid of the bill, afraid of a number of things. There's a fear of dentists, fear of doctors, fear of lawyers, but they stay home because they just are afraid to go see something. But we can bring the care to them in their homes and give them good care. And there's a lot we can deliver to a house now with the advent of all we have modernized. You may be amazed about what we can do actually on scene. It's really helpful.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You mentioned care for the veteran and care for the spouse, the
Yes.
family member. Well, what's the cost?
We take I can't say all because there's so many insurances out there. We do a house call visit, whether it's in the office or whether it's on scene. If a person is, say, 100% bedbound and we're seeing them and this other person is barely ambulatory, so they can't drive to the clinic, we can see both of them. So it'd be just like you came to the clinic, but it's just billed in a different way.
Okay.
Still the same thing. Co-pays are still effective. We can draw their blood on scene. If they need an injection because they're actively sick at that time, we can do that there. We're working on ways to get portable x-rays. I can do ultrasound EKGs at their house. There's a lot of things I can do that normally people just don't do.
And what insurances do you take? TRICARE, TriWest?
Yes. Medicare, Medicaid. We do physical therapy in our home, occupational therapy.
But what insurances, though?
Local.
They would have to call my office for how many we do take. I do know a lot of the major ones and a lot of the local ones too, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a good question.
Now also with some of these folks that might be, in the back of the room or whatever, in some instances, those could be mental health challenges, right? Now, as a primary care or family medicine doctor, you're able to diagnose that or at least, get a feel of whether this person may have depression or anxiety or PTSD.
Oh, absolutely.
Just from the basic standpoint, correct?
I'm going to teach everybody a couple words. SIGE caps, S-I-G-E, and then caps. All the Google generation can look that up. It stands for each letter in SIGE caps means something. If you suspect depression, look that up. Yeah. SIG means, does this person has a change in their sleep? S.
Okay, right.
I, interest. Do they have a loss in interest? A G, do they feel guilty? E. Then go through that parameter of what SIG cap stands for. And if they're afraid of things like, if I find out I'm depressed, I can't go to the gun range anymore. I can't drive the car. I get all this taken away from me. Well, do it in private. Look up that word on the internet and find out what SIG caps means. Yeah. And you'll say, wow, I got all of them. Maybe I need some help.
Right.
Don't let needing the help. How many veterans kill themselves per day? Look that up, okay? It'll shock you. But SIGE caps, mom, dad, teenager, look that up on yourself even if you have to. And then you say, maybe I do have a little bit of mental disorder. We use that mostly for depression, which is one of the earlier indicators of PTSD, anxiety, depression. Okay. Look that up first, and you'll be surprised how many people say yes to a lot of those.
And with you being able to go see them there, if you find that out, you do referrals, or you refer them to, hey, you may want to go seek more care from a mental health professional, for example?
Yes, we refer them from their home. We tell the parent, if the parent says, yeah, I've been noticing that, well, what can we do? And they feel helpless. What can we do? Say, well, we get back to the office. We're going to put in a referral. If you haven't heard from us by like Friday or something, please call us and find out where the referral is in the process, because it is slow. Yeah. It is Guam. So,
and we don't have mental health folks that do the same thing you do yet.
No, I haven't met one that drives out to their house and talks to them yet.
And that's kind of tough sometimes, right?
What I'd like to see is when we get better accreditation, better facility through the two hospitals here, is a more internship, externship programs that, like specialty care PAs, physician assistants, where they can come in here for their clinicals, and we can actually send them out into the field where they can do on-site physical and psychiatric evaluations on-site.
That would be one way to take care of something like that, right?
Yeah,
and
we need to bring more students in here, and if you've ever been a resident, you know what slavery is. They work us to death. So if people say slavery doesn't exist, it does. Just become a resident.
So when doctors start demanding some things, we need to kind of allow them to do that.
Well, no, we have to ask them, hey, you know what it was like as a resident, and they'll go, oh, okay. Then they're humbled again. And so,
because they had to go through the rigors to get the title, right? So at the same time, they understand it too.
They understand. Okay. So bringing in more residents and more interns into Guam Air Territory, we'll find out that we can provide more with these to the homes and you don't know what it's like to be taught into rural medicine versus a nice clean clinic where there's nice clean nurses, clean hospital, clean everything. Go see somebody behind a chicken coop in a house one time and have dogs chase you out of the yard after you just finished seeing the patient. That's real medicine. That's a lot of fun.
Well, you do really great work, Dr. Krieger. We're gonna take a break real quick, and when we come back, we're gonna talk about some more events that are happening and read some more comments from those watching us online. If you're listening to us on The Point, you can call into 671-888-TALK. We'll be right back.
Howdy, folks. KFC's Colonel Sanders here. It's the time of the year for wow. It's my wow January special. Get 10 pieces of my finger-licking good KFC fried chicken plus 2 large red rice, all for just $25. Whether you're feeding the family or just hungry for some of my good old fried chicken, KFC's got you covered. Hurry down to your nearest KFC today or order at kfcguam.com, because my wow January special is only available for a limited time. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Kulay na kaibigan at handa para sa inyo. Ang bangko ng kinabukasan, laging maaasahan. And Pacific, where others dug branches, we place roots.
Thank you. You're listening to us on The Point 93.3. Auntie Bobby online says, congratulations, guys, on your anniversary. Sorry we were not able to join you guys. No worries. It was fun. We had a lot of people come visit us. The food was great. The talking and the stories were great. We actually want to thank the Congressman's office.
Yes.
We had a veteran couple contact us because they were having a very hard time traveling off island, coordinating their medical health care, all the red tape they were dealing with VA travel and all the necessary medical records and documents. And we sent them straight over to the Congressman's office, say, hey, contact the office. This person will work with you. So they came to meet us today to say, hey, we just came back from Palo Alto. Everything was great. We were treated like celebrities. And,
They got the care they
listening to that, right, is what all veterans should be treated like. There should be no red tape. There should be no delays. The veterans should be able to get the care that they deserve. And, thank you for the Congressman's office again, because if they didn't have the direct connection, then they probably wouldn't have been seen in the amount of time that they were, nor were they able to leave island. So I've always, said, hey, a lot of veterans call us about the Bene Travel office here and in Hawaii. They get a lot of red tape, a lot of no answer, or a lot of no assistance. So we just send them direct to the Congressman's office and they get results. So thank you again to that office.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Julian, for your help
Julian,
there.
yes. And we're going to have him on the show soon, hopefully.
Yes. Well, they're going to be calling in and updating us, and these are one of the things they're updating on. So
Yes.
good job.
Yes. And then we were invited to, and I don't think everyone's invited. I don't think it was a public event, but Tim Ono is going to jump in a celebration of, I'm not sure. It was either today or tomorrow. We're not sure when he's jumping.
Oh.
But he's jumping in honor of the inauguration for President Trump.
That'll be tomorrow, right?
I'm not sure when. I'm not sure when he's jumping here on Guam, today or tomorrow. I didn't get the details. But if it was today, we wouldn't have been able to make it anyway. But I just wanted to mention it. And then last week we had the Guam Veteran Task Force meeting, and thank you to Senator Sabrina
Salas
Mantanani. She was there. Senator Tony Atta was there. Senator Vince Borja was there. Senator Jesse Lujan was there.
He was back there too earlier with us.
Oh yes,
for our
Senator
celebration.
Jesse Lujan did visit us at the event in the back, and so what we talked about there was the veterans count, right? Getting that count organized. How many veterans are there really? So that's a Guam Veteran Task Force mission we would like to do. And then she also, Senator Sabrina Salas Mantanani, also visited the GOVA office. And if you're on Instagram and you follow her, you can go watch her video. But some of the things highlighted was she visited the GOVA office, and the GOVA office isn't only one floor, it's 2 floors. So what they posted was the office is provided by GURA. It's not ADA compliant. The records for thousands of active and inactive island veterans are stored in boxes and file cabinets due to a lack of computers and the absence of digitized record keeping. She said the staff told her that no other elected official has taken the time to visit the 2nd floor where additional records are stored. And I also heard in the video that once one goes up there, because that's where they store DD-214s, I'm pretty sure. Once a veteran goes up there to do research, they tell another person, hey, I'm going to be up there just in case I don't come down, because that's how bad the 2nd floor is. And then they said they're doing their best with the minimal resources they have. And they ended the post with Senator Sabrina said, there is significant work to be done. She is fully committed to driving the improvements our veterans deserve. And you can watch the video online. She posted it on her Instagram, but kudos to her for visiting that office. It's unfortunate that it's at that state, and that's supposed to be our state veteran office. Hopefully she can help them.
If you don't have Instagram, where else can you watch it?
I'm not sure, but I can hopefully she shares it with the news outlets, and then if you're part of any one of our WhatsApp chat groups, or you can reach out to me and I could share the link to you.
Or just go to hers, right?
Oh yes, or look for her on Instagram. I'm pretty sure you can just Google Senator Sabrina Salas Mantanani.
Okay. What do you got?
Also, I think that's all that I had to. Oh, you said when is the we call it a Trump jump. So that's today. Right, that's today. Yeah, it was today. So it's already passed. So Tim Ono, he jumped at 15:30 at the Open Field Estate Clinic. Yeah. Oh wow, that was nice. Yeah, so we were invited last week, but when I looked at the date and the time, I thought, oh, was it today? If it was today, we wouldn't have been able to make it anyway. But that was nice.
Way to go to celebrate the new president coming in.
Yes.
You know, that's good on you, Tim Ono. We had another veteran asking for you and wanted to talk to you. Reach out to us and we'll send you his name or we'll get him to you.
Oh, I think I already gave him his number.
Oh, no problem. That's okay.
Yes,
Tim.
I did. Yeah, I don't think Tim would mind.
Okay.
And then I did want to, I don't have it now, but I guess next show we can talk about the new 2025 changes for veterans. Mm-hmm. And then, when we had our event over there, for the 1 year anniversary, I did talk to a few veterans and, he's like, I like your radio show. I listen to it. And I said, we talk about veterans issues and we talk about national issues and international issues. So, we were talking and I said, what do you think we should talk about? And then he said something and I said, okay, well, how does that relate to veterans? Because this is a veteran radio show. So internationally, of course, Guam was mentioned twice. One, when who was it? Confirmation.
Pete Hegseth, DOD.
He was asked what was the most strategic place.
Yeah, in the Pacific.
And he said Guam.
Yes.
So that's international. And the second thing was, a lot of people have seen it, the relocation of the Marines coming here to Guam, mm-hmm. and it's been posted on military.com and then our news sources that, hey, why are we moving away from Japan? We should be there in Japan, but yet they're here in Guam. But of course, that's a whole another subject, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually,
moving from Okinawa to Guam.
Well, yeah, the movement is one thing, but what they were trying to get at, I think, is that they're moving further away from where the fight is supposed to be. And I think the Marines are usually up there fighting, so they want to be up there where the fight is, mm-hmm. and that's what they train for. So mm-hmm. I think they want it to be closer to China or in that region, mm-hmm. wherever the hotbed is, which is I think in between China, Philippines, and that general area. That there's an area there that they're claiming belongs to each other. So that's what they're fighting about.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But yeah.
So we just wanted to share those few, not few, that was a lot of information in just, less than 5 minutes. But, there's so much things that go on for veterans and veterans these days. And then, with the new Veterans Committee Chair, Senator Sabrina Salas Mantanani, she's already taking charge and helping veterans on the island. So hopefully that continues.
Yeah,
it should.
And then, I think you had a question for Dr. Cregan. Chris?
Oh, yeah. Off radio, I was asking Dr. Cregan how, as a leader of veterans organizations, what can we do to support your effort to get better service out here for the folks on Guam, Micronesia, Asia in general?
Just having the families reach out. Your organization, helped me after 16 years of trying to fight it myself to get my 100%. We literally have people sleeping in garages that are veterans of many years, mm-hmm. and the family don't know. Well, Dad served in the Army. Okay, don't be afraid to reach out to my esteemed colleague here. Go to that American Legion. Be a member if you want to. It doesn't take much. His dad's out in the garage sleeping in an unair conditioned thing with barely any medical care, barely any food and water, and yet he doesn't even know he's eligible for things like the American Legion, HMI, Veterans with Benefits, even care that can come to his house and take care of him and see him. Just be the voice of ear for these people who just don't know. They have this belief that, well, that's just the way it's done here. No, it's not. You don't settle. Right. Talk to people like the American Legion. I don't even know if there's a VFW here.
Yeah.
There is.
But, sorry, guys, I didn't know you were there. The heat mill goes to Anthony, please. But
Thank you. I think.
But just be that ear for them, because they realize when I get there, they ask me 10 or so questions, but they don't know where they can reach out to. And if they, I hand out more of your cards than probably my own cards, because once they feel like they're up against the wall and they don't know which way to turn, that's when the abuse starts. That's when the depression starts. That's when the PTSD starts. Be that ear for them. And I know you guys are, because you've helped probably hundreds of my patients over the years. And you don't get the thank you at the end of the day, maybe sometimes that I do. But later on, when I hear, hey, you remember back in such and such a year you helped me do this? And I say, yeah, and I don't really remember. I just say, yeah, I do. But then it comes to my head, oh, yeah, I do remember helping that. Well, it was a man just like you that said, hey, why are you down? Why are you depressed? And I tell him, and he goes, oh, you just come with me. And he literally had me fill out the American Legion paperwork. And that afternoon, some cranky old man called me, what do you want? And, and the next thing I know, an even older man was calling me and got me fixed up with the right American Legion, and my 40% became 60%, and then the battle was ensued for the next 16 years, and we won. So
Very good.
Just be that ear like you are now for them, and you're not going to see the prize at the end very often, but there's a lot of prizes that you guys already done for my patients in Guam. So be proud of that.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Cregan.
Yes. Looks like we're going to be wrapping up.
Yes.
So thank you both for coming again. Thank you for, being there, especially for us on our first year. The Legion, we continue to push.
Yeah, amen.
and we need more time for the commanders, so we'll bring him back, and as well as the doctor. So
Yes. Thank you all for listening.
yeah, thank you, Jose, and happy birthday,
Next time we'll switch chairs.
Veterans with Benefits.
They're over here talking about us.
Yeah.
But thank you all. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Jose.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Good night.
The Point is KUSG, Hagåtña, Guam, 93.3 FM and 104.3 HD3.
The 45th set to become the 47th. I'm Sue Guzman, Fox News, and President-elect Donald Trump outlining his plans for the opening days of his administration during a victory rally in Washington, D.C. Sunday. Details from Fox's Gernal Scott.
The soon-to-be 47th president, Donald Trump, took the stage Sunday at the Capital One Arena after a parade of speakers and performers to tell the assembled crowd that once he takes the oath of office Monday,